I respect that you've had a long day, and probably some of you got to work before this, and you came in here. I'm a consultant, a professional networker, and an inspirational speaker. What you're talking about, the watcher, sometimes I go into corporations and I ask them questions, just one question that will get to the core of their watcher that's getting in the way of progress. The stuff that they want to create in the world, it's getting in the way. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to talk about creative writing. And congratulations to the people that shared, that was tremendous. You were able to really get into your mind and really channel into the watcher that lives within all of us. I have gone deep into my watcher, and it's painful at times. And as respect to you, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't want to do in school. This is going to be something that you can play along with and build however you want. I would like everybody, except for the camera person, to close their eyes. And I want you to visualize yourself. You can close your eyes or leave your eyes open. I want you to visualize yourself as a pen. And at the bottom of the pen is a force of energy that you're totally grounded into the earth. And within this, there's a light of ink coming up through your body. And as that comes up through your body, you get to the core of what you want to do in this world, what you want to be in this world, and what you want to have in this world. And as that light and that ink goes up inside of you, out to the top of your head, you just feel that connection. You feel that connection to a lot of these different words that you're writing on paper. They can be the thought that is going to cause cancer to be cured. They can be the thought that is causing homelessness to be cured all over the world, not in one location. One location's great, but all over the world. It's very, very powerful, the words that are happening. If you take Columbine, 4 students created a horrific act that people all over the world, just 4 people coming together to do something real bad in the world, and it changed the way that we do it. And I would like to see a lot more people doing good that's going to totally transform people in an amazing and a powerful way. So right now, creative writing. It's important, like Brandi was telling you, it's important when you're doing creative writing, when you're journaling, don't edit yourself. The first draft of my book, few people have seen it. I'm going to put it on my blog at some point, but few people have seen it because it's embarrassing. I use the word lazy in every sentence. I'm lazy. This is why. I'm able to do this because I'm lazy. In the book, I only put it down once. The gift of laziness. Okay. Who in here is an artist?
Do we have an eyes?
Yes. I saw everybody had their eyes up except for the teach. Artists, okay. Anybody in technology? Okay. Are you all on the social networks? Most of you are on the social networks. Good age group for that. We're in a place that things are taking too long to happen. And a lot of times we learn things, and you're in a place that you can create amazing things. I started Making a Difference project on Facebook that I am looking for people that want to make a difference in your career before you graduate. Because it's important that a lot of you are in school right now, and you have a lot of time. You're busy with a lot of things, but you have a lot of time. You have fresh ideas. And then you go into corporate America, you go into a company that you're doing their art, you go into a certain technology, and they put you in a paradigm saying, this is how you do things. We are living in a changing world. The world has changed so much. If I'm going to hire an employee and I'm going to tell them to do things the way I do them, or I did them in the past, when the world's changing so fast, I'm doing a disservice to the world, my company, and myself. So it's very important, as you're talking about creative writing, that you're able to understand how important it is to be creative. We come into this world, and the only thing, if you look at children, when they're happy is when they're creating, when they have imagination. my first drafts when I write things, it's not impressive. A lot of those things aren't seen. But when I'm inspired, when I'm deep down into my core and I'm able to write it, I write things, post them on my blog without even getting them edited. It's just like a certain energy is just running through me to do that. So, do some of you know what you want to be when you get out of school? How about you? Say that again.
Software engineer.
Software engineer. Okay. It's one of the challenges with software engineers is you have to be creative to do it, and the people that are able to streamline it and do it a lot faster are the ones that are able to get something to market before somebody else surpasses them. So that's a great industry to do that. Have you ever thought of how this class connects you with that?
No.
You haven't thought about that. Okay. Do you understand how being creative would be a piece to do it? Okay. And what type of software would you like to put together?
Basically, my first degree was in astrophysics. So actually, my software is just going to be about a project on how to project jets through magnetic levitation. So it's going to be long.
So how to project jets?
Yeah, through magnetic levitation.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's basically what I'm working on now.
Okay. So communication, do you think it would be important to communicate with the people that are around you and doing it? Sometimes writing it,
Yeah.
or other times being able to speak it
Yeah.
at a certain level. Because I'll guarantee you, sometimes I worked only 2 hours during the day, and I was meditating all day, and then all of a sudden I meet somebody later that night and I got to talk to them, and I'm just like pretty much throwing up on them. So it's important to harness those skills and know that you're here in school to learn. And a lot of the stuff that you're learning, first company that you're hired at, and I know a lot of you are already working, the first company that you're hired at is going to tell you to forget everything you learned. And it's important that we want to know that our history is part of us, but we don't want our history to necessarily dictate it, because there's a lot of negative history for us. But if we're raw and clear with it, what was your name again? Lanish. One of the things that you said, which is in healing practices, I have a lot of healers that I do. What you did is you connected with your watcher, and you kind of celebrated it and said, and you acknowledged it. Because if we want to create amazing things in the world, it's very important that we acknowledge our shortcomings and we acknowledge our brilliance. Because when we acknowledge our shortcomings and our brilliance, then who we really are lies somewhere in between that. Okay, write this question now. So we got to ask him. What do you want to be when you grow up? I turn 40 next month. I still ask me. I ask myself this question, so it's not anything based on your age. Questions are so important, because every time you ask a question, it's going to lead you. You can ask yourself questions. It's going to lead you to, a good question will lead you to good information. A good question will lead you to good experiences. A lot of times, bad experience is a good experience because it helps you to not go there again, or it helps you to thrive in a different place and learn from that situation. Anybody have any questions? Okay. I like that. Who wants to do something, not just in technology, but wants to do something that they love? Do you know what that is yet?
Therapy.
Therapy.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think therapy and counseling is probably some of the most good you can do with some people who have struggles with certain issues. So a lot of times it's just perspective and how they perceive the situation. Sometimes you can show them something beyond what they can see. It's probably more helpful to them.
So therapy and counseling, that's a great industry. I'm not certified in therapy, but I do life coaching for people, and I do it in the corporations. So it's a very, very lucrative. Do you see how this adds value to what you're doing in this class?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you see how being more creative would be important?
I think you have to be with that because people are so varied, they're so different, and so you have to, I guess, be more creative as to how a solution, how you can communicate a solution to their problem. Because everybody's so different. There's no one good answer for that's going to fit everybody at all.
You're going to make a very good therapist. The next question is, what do you like to do for fun? I ask a lot of people this question, and I have a health and wellness radio show that I do with an MD, and she asks a lot of her patients, and she also has a wellness practice, and she asks a lot of her patients, what do you like to do for fun? And it's like deer in a headlight. I don't know what I like to do for fun. That's an important question. Even if you don't necessarily have to have a job that's fun for you, I choose that. You don't necessarily have to have a job that's fun for you, but you have to at least know what you like to do for fun. Because fun is something that can free you up a lot of stress that's going on. Because 90%, 80%, 70% of diseases are caused by stress, by worry. Your nervous system goes down when you work. So it's important that when you flow through it and you're able to think through your whole body, not just through your head. People that think through their heads, they're like a robot. If you're able to think through your body, for the women in the room, use your natural gifts. Think, listen to that woman's intuition and let that flow within you, because it's so important. I've spent $1 million of missed opportunities and seminars that I was getting in touch with my feminine side. Just getting in touch with my feminine side. Some people like to jump 2 feet in, but I think it's important to still be a man, but be direct, and be in touch with your feminine side, because if you listen to your body, you ask questions, all of a sudden I'll go to a place last night. I went to a place last night, and Brandi was there. I talked to her, and she said, talk to the class. I didn't know I was going there. The inspiration is around you every second of the day. And we do so many things that get in the way of it. We repress ourselves in so many ways. I love an iPod. I like to text message. I do all this stuff. I have attention deficit disorder like no other. But I use it as a gift. I'm able to do several things at once. I'm able to look at something and be able to finish it like lightning, so I can go to the beach and have fun and do absolutely nothing. That's one of the things I like to do for fun. Who has some examples of what you like to do for fun?
Sing karaoke.
Sing karaoke. That's nice.
All right, what's
That's
the
nice.
confidence? Yeah, right.
You have a question?
No.
Oh, you don't have a question. Do you have something to share?
Play video games.
Play video games. Play video games.
I like to play guitar in my free time.
Play guitar in your free time. Have you ever thought of taking that, something that you like to do fun, into some type of career?
Oh no, because I don't know, it just seems like a fun thing to do. I always want to learn how to play, but I more want to be like a chef and things because I like to cook.
Okay. Do you think being creative is involved with being a chef?
Oh yeah, because
Nice.
like when I first got into class, they were like teaching us how to do, like how to make our food like look really good, so it's good enough to eat. Because people like you see like food that look gross, then people won't eat it. So you have to make it like look really like creative and delicious, of course.
Nice. And it's good when it's actually delicious too. Yes, it's a good mix. Anybody else? Drawing. Nice. Excellent. What type of drawings do you like to make?
Art,
Say it again.
African
Oh.
art.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Anybody else? What do you like to do for fun?
Having conversations count.
Yes.
I like to hang out and talk to people.
Yes. We've had some great conversations. Great conversations. Anybody else?
Surfing.
What was that?
Surfing.
Surfing. Sports. Excellent.
I like to party.
Nice. I like that. I like that. Ever thought of making that a career?
Well, that'd be awesome.
I believe there's much growth and there's so little creativity in partying. I think there should be like a whole nother level of being able to just party and being able to use it in a healing place that you're able to do it. That's one of the areas that I think if it went into business a lot more, we would really have some powerful stuff that we're creating, because there's a certain type of people that I believe are creating a lot of the stuff that are solving our problems because they created our problems. And I think it's important to get people from all walks of life to answer the core questions, answer the questions that we've been asking for a long period of time, and we've deflected the answers, and we're trying to like find different things. So anybody else? Fun.
Family gathering.
Family gathering. Nice. Family's very important. That's good that you're able to experience that. Go ahead. Anybody else?
I like to go see plays.
Like to go see plays? Have you ever thought of being in that industry at all?
That's what I'm doing right now.
How so?
I'm gonna be a costume technician.
Costume technician. Excellent. Excellent. Have you ever thought of designing it, of not necessarily designing, but doing your own play?
I've already designed plays before. I designed costumes for plays. I just designed a show that was here at school.
Oh, excellent. Anybody else?
Watching soccer.
Watching soccer. Nice. Anybody else? So, do you understand how all of us could write something that could be very powerful, that could heal the world? And do you understand that every one of us has a story in our life, inside of us, a book inside of us? Mine's 32 pages from cover to cover. It's the first chapter. The rest of it's blogged. I'm looking to have 1,000 people, 1,000 variations of my book that people are able to contribute to it. I met a guy online in Africa. I negotiated within seconds. 50% of the profits would go to him and I. Never talked to him. Finished the book 2 weeks later. There's a guy on Facebook. Finished the book 2 weeks later that he's able to add to it. His brother died in a car accident. I was one of the first people that he contacted. I've never heard this guy's voice, never seen a video of his. Do you know what that means? And this isn't about me. When I was growing up, 4 years old, when I was growing up, they told us that Russia was the evil empire. We couldn't tweet to anybody, we couldn't call over there, we couldn't do any of that stuff. Lots of the stuff that people are talking about, it could be solved by noon. We could wake up in the morning and solve these problems by noon. I'm a dreamer, so let's do it in a month, a year, 2 years. War's been going on for frickin' ever. And I'm not anti-war. I am frickin' not anti-war. I acknowledge that we need war in this world so people see the good on the other side of that. I am not anti-war. But is there a point that war could be no war in 47 years? Because it's been around forever. We've got to be learning some of these lessons. When you write about this, write about these things. Write about yourself. I write about my things that I'm going on with it. My back hurts. Write about those things. But write about, every once in a while, take something that say, I'm going to write something here, and I'm going to write a best-selling book. I woke up on a Monday this month, and I said I'm going to write a children's book by Saturday and publish it. The person that co-authored the book with me, I met them on Tuesday. Never met them. Talking to them, didn't ask her, what school did you go to, any of this. I said, in the middle of a conversation, they go, you want to co-author the book? And as you probably know, I did most of the talking the whole time. And all of a sudden, I just, out of inspiration, I said, you want to co-author the book with me? She said, what's it going to be about? I go, it's Tuesday, I have no idea. I'm writing the book on Friday. I don't have to publish it until that Saturday. And when we wrote that book, I get there on Friday, I had the basic plan, I had gotten that information to her, and she wrote pretty much all the book when I showed up on Friday. I like that. I'm writing 1,000 books. I don't want to spend many times. I have the gift of laziness. That's awesome. I don't want to always be pushing. I want people like you, that we all have this in there, something that can help. Lots of schools are struggling for money. I'm like, the schools want me to beg them. I say, here's my book. There's no illustrations in it. You get your children to write the illustration, I'll sell it worldwide and make some money for you. But it's new and different, so the schools don't want to necessarily go on it. Take action, take conscious action. Take action on your writing. Sometimes writing it is enough. Sometimes the thoughts that are in your head are enough. Because it changes the way you walk. It gives you more confidence. It's a very important time in our life. Anybody into wildlife conservation? Do you know it's important? I don't really get into this as much, but it is so important. Einstein said, okay, this isn't Steve Jones saying this, Einstein said it. Me, you don't have to believe anything I say. Just you being in my present, things are going to change for you. Einstein said, when the bees are dead, the world will not be around for 4 more years. I was walking, saw 2 bees. I don't know what happened to these bees, but I saw 2 bees when I was walking today. I don't worry because I know worry's not going to be able to, I'm not going to be able to reach inspiration. I'm going to party and have fun. If we have 4 more years left, I want to be the happiest. But can we do both? Can we get progress? Can we have fun? Can we be entertaining? Why not? People work a 40-hour work week. They're only working 10 of the hours. The rest of the time they're on Facebook. They're doing a lot of different things. What can we do? It's important. One of my things is, and I usually don't get this fired up, but one of my things is 1%. 1% of your gifts. 1% of the things that when you're doing it, it doesn't even seem like work. The 1% that gets you 40%, 35 to 40% of your results. Imagine if you have 100 people giving that 1%. That's 100%. It's something that can take 5 minutes a day, an hour and a half. Why not? I have my blog. I have a $100 million business plan that I'm putting my whole heart into. I'm giving 20% of my company to the first 100,000 people that register on my website. Just for registering. I know it will have value. I see the value to it. That's 20% spread out. So I don't get in a lawsuit before it all happens. I'm spinning my wheels so much you can't even register on my blog yet. Hopefully by the time somebody's watching this video, you'll be able to register on it. I want people, students on the video, anybody that wants to. I'm not going to be pushy about it. If it's not fun for you, if you're not inspired for that, if you want to look for inspiration for the journals that you're having, go to my blog. I have lots of good things on there that you can cut, paste, put in your journal. Of course, don't just directly do it because Brandi will be able to know that. But just take pieces out of that. It's a simple guide md.com.
There's a diaries
Oh, I get to write. I promised myself I was gonna write. What? We know it's www. I can't wait till the day that you don't have to write www.
It's still fun to say it.
Oh, yes. How many times a day do you say that?
Not enough.
I say it too much. Any questions? Anybody wondering what I do?
I want you to talk, before we get to what you do, I want you to talk a little about that, but you touched on how we're blocked, kind of, but I would like you, since the theme was kind of writer's block, and you're talking about creative energy in all ways, talk a little bit about overcoming being blocked, getting rid of that inner critic, and tapping into that, if you could.
My first book that I wrote, I was having a conversation with Nick Petro, and it was in January of 2008. And I said to him that I'd probably never write a book because books, people complicate things to get credit for it. And he said, do you think that's a limiting belief? What a limiting belief is, if you want something, whatever comes up, whatever that story is that you put together, it's a limiting belief. If you acknowledge that you know what a limiting belief is so you don't have them, I did that for 10 years. Don't try that. Just because you know that. I graduated from college with only reading 2 books from cover to cover. And then a little while after that, my first year in business, I was totally stressed. First month in business, totally stressed. And I read a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Great book. All the stress in my spine just totally started to relax. And I ended up going in that organization and taking the class and learning a lot about that. It's very powerful information. So, challenge yourself with your writing. The journal is a perfect place to do it. Challenge yourself. It was amazing the thoughts that you're able to put on a piece of paper that you're going through. You made it funny at the end to do it. And the fact that you shared that says a lot about you. To do it. You volunteered to share it. She didn't call on you, you volunteered to share it. And also it was smart because you got the jump on it. When she reads it later, she'll be laughing instead of saying, oh my goodness. Would you want me to address again? Attention deficit.
I don't know. Being blocked and how we overcome being blocked. You can say more about limiting beliefs and
Okay.
kind of what we do to ourselves with those.
What type of limiting beliefs do you have?
I can't is the biggest one.
I can't. Anybody else with the I can't? How about you? What limiting beliefs do you have?
It's not going to be good enough. That you don't know exactly how to do it right, so that you don't get laughed at.
I think that guy and I grew up in the same household. Just joking. He and I got that. Anybody else? Limiting beliefs? Oh, this. Anybody else? Limiting beliefs? Limiting beliefs? Too hard?
Not possible.
Not possible. One of the things with that, it's to go into your demons when you're writing into your journal. Just writing for the sake of writing. Did you ever see Finding Forrester? There's a great part in there where Sean Connery just says, just write for the trash can. Just write like that. I'm writing this and I'm gonna throw it away. Don't write that, but just that's how you go. And sometimes you're gonna write some amazing things, and sometimes you're gonna take a sentence out of there, and it's gonna be a whole paper that you're gonna be able to do, and it's gonna make it a lot easier. So one of the things that you do is you make it manageable. I woke up, I was challenged to write that book, and I woke up 2 days later, I said, I may write one, I may not. I'm inspired, I might not be inspired. Woke up 2 days later and I said, I'm gonna write that book today. Woke up, started to write at 8:30. The Chargers were playing Tennessee for a playoff game. It was on the East Coast, it was a playoff game, and I wrote the book before the game. And if I didn't write a 3-page book, because that's what it came to, I go, okay, I'll write a 3-page book. If my goal was to write a 32-page book, I wouldn't have written it. Forget the blog, forget a lot of other things. My life would have not gone in as amazing direction as it did. It could have gone in a more amazing, I don't know. But I'm thankful for Nick and other people that have challenged me. I put myself in a position that I'm able to have peers that I call them mentors and friends, that we're able to be on that same page. Brandi's a mentor and friend. We're not hierarchy. I don't need to be up here in order for people to talk to me. I don't need that. I think more of a round table of discussion. I want to have the biggest peer group, not based on age, not based on ethnicity. I want to have the biggest peer group in the world, that we're all peers, that we're able to sit there and listen to it and know that everybody has value. And there are stupid questions that lead to good. A lot of people say there's no stupid questions. Stupid question could be something that was asked before. But the fact of being able to stand up for what you believe in and not be pushy about it, not try and make everybody do it, there's too much of that going on there. So I'm like, I work for the best company. Only one group of people can work for the best company. Everybody can't work for the best company because there's millions of companies. Everybody can't have the best church. Everybody can't have the best religion. So,
Transition into talking, that's a good transition into what we do.
okay. What I do? Basically, I realized recently that my burning desire is to speak in public. I have a resume that is, in traditional terms, is pretty impressive. Not totally impressive. I work for companies. It's been a challenge to build my own brand because it's hard for me to talk about what I do because I am not a keynote speaker, I'm a B-note speaker because I help people find their inner buzz. A lot of things that I say, they're not quotable. They'll inspire you to find your own quotes. You'll be able to look at that. And it's done by design for a reason. Because I don't want a whole bunch of people calling me, asking me questions. Because how am I able to take a month off, a weekend off, an afternoon off, if things don't happen, if I'm not getting involved? I do have an ego, but my ego doesn't go there. Doesn't go there. So my business plan is on my blog. I put it there, transparent that it's out there. And what I'm developing is resources with people all over the world for these ideas that we're talking about that we can actually implement. It's important to implement the things that we're talking about. As much time as you're spending doing a lot of stuff, as the ideas, as long as you've been in school, you want to do some amazing things in your life? I remember my last semester, I graduated from college in 4.5 years. My last semester, all I did was I sat there and counted, it was like probably the last month, I counted how long I've been in school and what percentage I have left. And then I had a lot of ideas, and all of a sudden, people just snuff them out. But I'm not getting on anybody because I guarantee the way that we operate, if people snuff out my ideas, I'm snuffing out other people's ideas. Not anymore, but did that a lot. Probably pissed off a lot of people. Probably pissing off people right now. Oh, now you laugh. So, the important thing is get involved. Listen to ask yourself, what I'm learning in this class. How is it helping me? How is this gonna transform and do in my career? And understand that you can make an impact in your career now. You can make an impact in your career now. You don't have to wait till you get out. Because it might be a lot harder. You can be a known person in your career. You can be a known person in your career before you even graduate. That industry heads you come to. Guy that started Facebook. What's he 26 now? That's an amazing thing that they're not necessarily utilizing the best.
An example of that. My little sister, I can't talk now, so my little sister, had got a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Interior Design. She's in Louisville, Kentucky. She is one of those people that very much doesn't feel like she can do anything. She has low self-esteem, she's very insecure, yada, 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 yada. She loved to draw, and she loves playing with colors and fabrics, and so she finally, after years of floundering around, decided to get up the gumption and get the degree she wanted. While she was getting the degree, she was working at Maker's Mark, the restaurant, not the distillery. She was working at the restaurant. They bought a club in downtown Louisville and wanted to renovate it and change it. And so she just started, while waiting tables, brainstorming with the CEO, just kind of talking ideas. He liked her idea. Asked her to draw up the sketches. She drew up the sketches. There's now a club in downtown Louisville called Hotel that my sister designed her second year in school.
Wow.
And it was just because she was playing around and having fun. She wasn't taking herself seriously. She took away all the limiting statements because this is just play. I'm not really doing a professional thing here. I'm just playing around with ideas. And they actually took the ideas and created the club in her design.
Thank
So it can, and it's that limiting ideas, it's getting rid of that, it's letting yourself be open and just kind of pushing for it. It's the watcher at the gate. It's that I can't, or I suck, or whatever. No, allow the inspiration to come. It's kind of where we're going with this thing.
And I think it's important not to take action every time that you limit the watcher and you reduce the watcher. Because until I heal my watcher perfectly, I'm not gonna write a word. And all of a sudden you're off doing other things, getting distracted by other things, instead of getting into the core of the watcher. Because the watcher is there for a reason. As much as you don't understand this or do understand that, your parents, your economic situation, everything that's happening to you in your life happened to you for a reason, to prepare you for here. Because life's all about being here. Not being conflicted and being there in many directions. Here. Right here. There. Maybe wait till you get there. Wait till you have enough money. I'll be happy when I have enough money. I'll be happy when I get to that point. It may happen, but you'll only be happy for a second. And then there's another day. Your first car will make you just as happy as your Rolls Royce someday. Are you really being happy? If you're happy by things, I like things. But if you're only happy by things, so find that inspiration inside of you. Let it flow through and let's come together and heal the world. Thank you.